40 years. And I've done a little bit of everything at 7-Eleven. For probably 25 of those years, I was in operations. It's really my passion. And throughout operations, I've worked with franchisees. I was also in the merchandising department. I handled fresh foods for the area. Was real estate manager for a while, and this is my latest foray into 7-Eleven. So it's been a wild ride, but a lot of fun. And I have actually preferred working with franchisees because franchisees have ownership in their business. Anyway, we started in 1927 as the Southland Corporation Ice House. What we provided to our guests were blocks of ice because all they had were ice boxes, no electricity. Along the way, we had guests that requested that if they came to 7-Eleven for blocks of ice, could we provide milk, bread, eggs, and other things, and voila, the convenience store industry was born. And so we did all those things. 7-Eleven has been around for more than 80 years because we have responded to our guests' demands, and we've tried to keep up with the trends. When you talk about franchisors and how many stores they have, 7-Eleven actually, this is in counting 53,000 stores worldwide, and most of those are multi-unit licensees, have more than one store for sure. We operate in 16 countries. McDonald's operates in 100 countries. They have less units than we do, but they operate in 100 countries. So you can see the scope of the opportunity for the brand at 7-Eleven. We have global brand strength, especially in the United States and in the Far East. Tremendous global brand strength. So what do you think one of our best iconic brands are at 7-Eleven? What do people associate us with? Slurpee. What else? Coffee? Sure. And most recently, we have a brand called 7 Select. Our president and CEO challenged the merchandising department to come up with a way to help our guests in 2007 save money, and we've done that through our 7 Select brand. It is just as good, if not better, than some of the national brands, but it also helps the franchisees save money in that the product, although less in retail than the competitive products like Deer Park compared to our waters, the gross profit on those items is tremendous. For instance, Deer Park's 55%. And our brands are 70 to 80% for our waters. So we help also protect the franchisees. We are partners with them, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how our franchise differs from most other franchises out there. Our vision is to be the best retailer of convenience. And because of our relationship with the franchisees, we take this very seriously. We operate what's called under an inverted triangle. So the CEO is not at the top. The guests are at the top. And everything that we do is towards making sure that the guests like what they see at 7-Eleven, like what they purchase, and that we provide what they need when they need it. We have five fundamentals under which we operate. All of the franchisees are linked. They're all in link with this concept. Assortment, quality, cleanliness, value, and service. What do you think the most important one is? Most people say service, but it's actually having what the guests want. It's assortment, in other words, never being out of stock of the top sellers. It's something that, as a collective group of franchisees and a franchisor, we take very, very seriously. So we are delving into fresh food more and more every day. Believe it or not, the industry of fresh food is over $1 trillion industry, and over 500 billion of that industry are associated with people eating out. Even with the economic downturn, people are still eating out at restaurants, fast food restaurants, as well as convenience stores. $500 billion industry. The cigarette industry is a $40 billion industry and dropping. So you can see why 7-Eleven is trying to stay for its franchisees one step ahead by making sure that we increase our fresh food and that it is quality. We have what's called a in-store processor, and in that in-store processor, it helps the franchisees with a lot of different things. First of all, it is where you'll find that manual that Dr. Ben talked about, and it also is an ordering system. So it's an ordering system and it's a tracking system. You will know in real time at 8 o'clock in the morning how many glazed donuts you've already sold and whether or not you're going to have enough if that's your number one top seller for the rest of the day. We want to be in stock of our number one top food item 24 hours a day. It is a tremendous system. It's almost overwhelming, the amount of information on this system. It helps you keep track of your inventory, because your inventory at 7-Eleven is what you really own in the business. So this is what your investment is. Your investment is for the franchise fee. It varies by store based on gross profit dollars as well as market comps if it's a new store. And if it's a new store, the fee is based on stores in the immediate area as well, at the average. There's a down payment to the inventory, supplies, initial cash register fund, and permits and licenses. So this is how we differ from other franchisors. Instead of a royalty at the top in sales, and instead of your having to actually find the site, lease the site, build it out, and then the franchisor does the advertising on it, and you pay a royalty in sales, our royalty is based on gross profit dollars. So for instance, if merchandise sales are $1 million and cost of goods is $650,000, then the total gross profit in this example is $350,000, of which, for that example, of which you share your share, our share, and out of your share comes your expenses, and out of our share comes our expenses, which we reinvest in the business. By that, I mean that we build out the store, we provide all of the equipment, and along the way, we also do the remodels as well as add new equipment. In a lot of other franchisors, if there's a new program that comes out and the piece of equipment's $50,000, that's the franchisee's cost. At 7-Eleven, it's 7-Eleven's cost, the franchisor. So these are the franchisee's responsibilities. I'm not going to go through them, each one of them. I'll let you take a look at it. But very notably, your biggest expense is going to be payroll. You are an independent contractor, so as such, you're responsible for your human resources. That is your largest expense. You're responsible for business and inventory taxes and employment taxes, but we are also your accountant. You do not have to get an accountant for the business. You would want one for your personal income taxes, but we do all of your accounting. We pay your bills to the vendors. We provide your employees with their payroll, either direct deposit or through the little credit card, debit card. We do all of that for you for your share of the gross, or 7-Eleven charge your share of the gross profit dollars. 7-Eleven's responsibilities are to the land, the building, equipment, rent, and property taxes. Utilities, record keeping, quarterly audits, individual contractual indemnification, for certain events like a slip and fall at your store. You would probably want an umbrella policy, but we do provide you with some basics. Building maintenance and repair, business consulting. We have a field consultant that visits the franchisee once a week. If it's a new franchisee, they're going to be there much more than once a week. They may be there for 3 days straight and then as needed or more. We try to hold the franchisee's hands in the first few weeks. And incidentally, we do provide extensive training. Our training is 6 to 8 weeks for the franchisees. We do building maintenance and repairs. The franchisees are responsible for things like the washers in a faucet, the faucet itself. The franchisor is responsible for the building, the doors. The franchisee would be responsible for the door closures. We would be responsible for replacing the floor, the ceiling, the cooler doors, the big stuff. We are responsible for. Franchisees are responsible for maintaining their equipment. We set you up with a service contract. You key in a service call online, and the person comes in based on how important the call is. For instance, if it's 4 o'clock in the morning and all of your coffee brewers are down, that's an emergency because people have to have their coffee and they're counting on you. If they stop and you don't have coffee, that is a big, bad thing. I can attest to that. I need my coffee. So these are the things that are 7-Eleven's responsibilities. It's a very different type of franchise relationship than most franchisors out there. So the benefits of franchising a 7-Eleven. Name recognition, number one. It's a turnkey operation. I've been trying to talk about that a little bit. Established business system. We have a tremendous business. Part of what you're paying for with the franchise is the business system, the computerized business system. We share in it's a share in the profit system. We're a leader in support and training, daily distribution of fresh foods. So we don't ask you to make the fresh foods. You're going to put the hot dogs on the grill and you're going to heat up the chicken wings to temperature, but you're not cutting it, you're not frying it. You know, it's very simple, and that is designed to help the franchisees so they can manage their payroll better. We want the franchisees out there on the floor, and we give them the business system to do it. We're a leader in technology innovation, and we provide continual operational support, over 80 years of business experience. We actually started franchising sometime in the 1960s. Just a couple of fun facts. 40 years ago when I started, we served coffee to our guests. I mean, I poured coffee to our guests. It is a very different 7-Eleven than it was 40 years ago, and it's a major improvement. So if you're interested, I have business cards back there, and you have the number if you want to call for more information, as well as if you want to, we have a website. You can apply online. You can also take a look at the stores that are available in the area. We do entertain multiple franchisees going in with multiple locations if they have the experience with that kind of leadership, because number one, it takes leadership. So any questions? We'll talk later. Thank you.